Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen Awa, the platform where we speak truth to power. It's been a while. I've just had to take things easy. Getting back slowly. I'm not probably going to be rushing into things as much as before. I just want to take it easy, do what I can when I can. And I'm definitely with the struggle. We're working towards what we're talking about in terms of self determination. I'm part of that, and that remains the focus and the goal. Now, this young lady here, Adele Onyango from Kenya, she gave a powerful speech at the New Africa Summit in France. New Africa France Summit. Macron was there, and I want you to listen. Basically, what we're looking at, we need to see a young youth step up like this and speak to Boris Johnson. We need that in that contraption, a southerner, to speak to Boris Johnson in this manner, because France, they control a lot of 14 countries in Africa, and of course UK controls a number of countries, and it is time that African youth speak to Boris in this manner as well, and we need to make our intentions clear. I'm of the generation that's older generation, the younger generation. I encourage them to speak up. Let's listen to our comments. Here we go.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Adele
Hello,
Onyango.
I'm Adele
Je viens
Onyango,
du Kenya.
and I come from Kenya.
And that is exactly as far as my French will take me. So, I'm really honored and happy to be here today, because I think it is no secret that the current relationship between Africa and France is complicated. And in order for us to build a relationship that addresses issues that affect not only Africa, not only France, but the globe, then it's important for us to interrogate this very complicated relationship and ask ourselves three things. One, what is not efficient? Two, what is not ethical? Three, where do we see integrity gaps? And to be able to do these three things, we're going to have to be brutally honest.
Indeed.
The history of colonization is understandably very important.
Absolutely.
For Africa, it's a path that is as painful as it is destructive. And the effects of colonization can still be felt to date. And I'm not just saying economically, but even on an interpersonal level. We, as Africans, feel the pain of colonization every single
day. Thank you. Well said. Well said.
Now, the lack of a clear and strong acknowledgement of the continent's pain on this destructive past results in skepticism. And the absence of actions that will further push the acknowledgement is also a major issue in the current France and Africa relationship. In fact, the air of denial that France chooses to sit in is uncomfortable, not only for Africa, but also for France, and it does no good for either one of us. How can you trust the source of your pain when the source doesn't acknowledge it? What we end up with is skepticism on what exactly does France stand for. And so we ask you, Mr. President, how strong can a relationship that is built on pain, that is built on skepticism, and that is built on lack of trust really be? We, not just as a team here, but all of us in this room, and the 5,000 who helped with the report, and the millions more on the continent and off of the continent, want a commitment from you, Mr. President, that you will join us in the eradication of La France Afrique, which is a very unfair dominance, and it has to end. Furthermore, the breakdown in understanding what France fully stands for is fueled by the continued collaborations that France has with agencies, leaders, and individuals who have glaring integrity issues, whilst on the other hand, claiming to be standing for human rights. So on one hand,
please listen on. Please listen on.
So on one
Very
hand,
important point
we
she's
have
making
France
here.
that is entrenched in issues around racism, around exploitative dominance, and whilst on the other hand, they're still claiming to teach others about democracy. These are two profiles that one cannot fill at the same time. And when you try to do that, we find it rather arrogant. What it creates is a cognitive dissonance, which is that discomfort you feel because of these two conflicting values. It not only doesn't make sense, it is unsustainable, it births a negative perception, and an ambiguity in knowing once again what values does France stand for.
Powerful, powerful statements.
Now, it is very clear, because we're all here, that the current relationship is imbalanced. It's not collaborative, and in some instances, it's exploitative. We have social impact solutions built without any input from relevant African civil society organizations who are a resource when it comes to really understanding problems on the ground and creating solutions that run efficiently. And they're a resource that Africa is willing to lend to France. Let's also not forget that whilst we in this room are here because we want to change and repair this relationship, there are some who are benefiting from this current dysfunctional relationship, be it private businesses from France on the continent with non-ethical practices, or corrupt individuals and groups from both France and Africa. This group, and the lack of a very loud and public condemnation of this, obviously fuels skepticism. So this honest interrogation is a very important first step, because the strengths and weaknesses of this current relationship will dictate the success or failure of our collective future relationships. But we are not only telling you what's not working. We are very solution-driven, which is much unlike the heads of states that you're used to me saying.
I like her. I like her.
We
Oh,
know
yes.
exactly what you need to commit to today, and we have a clear path on how we can achieve that. And that is what my brother Arthur will share with you. Arthur, c'est à toi. Thank you.
Now, that is fantastic. Let me just go back. So I'm just going to leave that there. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to leave that there. I want to bring the shot of the lady right next to him. And there's a place I want to look at. The role that how she spoke and she looked at him in a particular way. Not in a rude manner, but she is, let me see, there's a bit, yeah, now. Now, there you go. Now, let me set it. Yeah, that's it. That's what I want you to look at. That is a powerful shot right there. Because what she's doing there is now telling France and other European countries around the world, in fact, the whole of the West, that look, we are going to do this in a collaborative manner. You are not going to be instructive to us. We will tell you what we need. You will acknowledge your enormous part in enslaving us. You will acknowledge it and take ownership and responsibility for that. On our part, we are going to build an Africa that works for Africa. That's the message she's putting across. Now, I found this a very powerful speech. I found it very refreshing in many ways. She touches on a number of things that all too often we don't say anything about. France, she said, works with people who are effectively yes sir men, Africans who are just going to do what France tells them to do, and they are obedient. And she says, contrast that with the youth of today. They are going to tell them what they expect from France. They're going to tell France what they expect from France. France is not going to be dictating to Africa on African soil. That's the kind of discussion that I want to see more and more of African youth to get engaged in. She's very eloquent. She's sure and certain of where she wants the vision she has for Africa. Not my vision, her vision. And in fact, the 5,000 Africans who were in that room. That was very, very interesting. And I thought it was a point that we needed to talk about. And this shot right here is a powerful shot because she's looking and speaking to him, instructing, not taking, directions from the colonizers. That is a very, very important thing to highlight. And I wanted to bring this to your attention. So once again, I salute Adele Onyango, the Kenyan. Her speech was powerful. And I like the way they've interconnected it. So she's taken on one part of the speech, another one has taken, another African youth has taken another part of the speech. Because that way, it gives clear directions and perspective as to, that this is not some one person speaking. African youths are waking up and we need to support them. As an elder in Africa, I want to lend my support to the youth. And and here's what I propose. I propose that the English-speaking African countries begin to have this kind of summit. I propose that we need to find a way to get this kind of summit with Boris Johnson and actually tell him, the youths, the African youths who are in the English-speaking countries they colonized, start hearing from them about their own visions and not the vision that Europe has for Africans. Africa must have African visions for Africans in Africa. Europe must have European visions for Europeans in Europe. That's all we're saying. No more, no less. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found this interesting. Very informative. Go back, play it from top to bottom. That's why I didn't interrupt much of what she was saying. I want you to watch that video. I want you to take it in. And I want you to not just take it, listen and watch it alone. I want you to now look at what role can you play in this as an English-speaking youth. We need to now find a meeting. We need to bring Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, and get a meeting. We need to organize a meeting with the UK Prime Minister, where African youth would speak their mind as to the visions they have and the need for the colonials to acknowledge the impact of their actions on us even till today. Very much like Adele Onyango said. So this is a very, very impactful piece of work by Adele Onyango. Her speech is indeed powerful, and you could see that there was no hiding place for Macron. We're just being direct and fair about what is being said. I am a Pan-Africanist in a very, very unthreatening manner. I am just clearing my mind that I know that it is time for Africa to rise. And I will do all I can to support the coming generation to ensure that the vision that they have for Africa, the African vision, is manifested by Africans in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Please, and of course, as always, you know what we do. When you're on this platform, subscribe to Citizen AY and share this broadcast if it resonates with you. Before I go, let's just do something quickly. I'd like you to go and subscribe to us right now. So go ahead and click the subscription button. Subscribe to Citizen AY. the platform where we speak truth to power. We only deal in one currency, and that's the truth. Truth is the only currency we deal in. And of course, we are the Sorosuke generation with evidence. Thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye.